sell? Are they willing to provide financing? What's the potential? Is it profitable? And will a seller take a smaller piece of a bigger pie later, which is really the partner for growth model. So look at this one, right? A decision produces commitment. Commitment produces passion, but passion does not create commitment. Would you all say that's true? You have to decide. Once you decide, you're good. I know a lot of people who are passionate about a subject, but they do nothing about it. Anybody know anybody like that? They talk about, oh yeah, I'm all for this. And what do you do to promote that cause or that effort that you're passionate about? Nothing. They like to talk about it. They don't do anything else. So let's look at what we call the seller questionnaire. So if I'm getting really in depth with sellers, I want to ask them essentially these 29 questions. Now, you may skip over some questions, which is fine. There's no problem with that. And you have to let the conversation go kind of free-flowing with the seller. When I'm talking with a seller and I get him on the phone and he wants to talk about selling his company, one of the things that I don't want to get caught into, okay, just give me an offer. No, I need to know information. Well, yeah, I just gave you some information. Come on, I'm in a hurry. But you know what? This is not a good time for us to talk. I need about 30 minutes. Is this a good time or not? Well, no, I can't. I got 10 minutes. Well, then let's schedule a time because I need about 30 minutes. If they're not going to spend 30 minutes with you on the phone, they're not really serious about working with you. They just want to hear what your offer is, make me an offer, put it in writing, and I'll let you know. This is not the right kind of deal. The tail is wagging the dog. You're the dog, you need to wag the tail. The seller's the tail. Everybody with me? You gotta stay in control. So are the sales greater than $1,000, less than 30 million? Okay, cool. Has it been in business for 3 or more years? That's preferable, but you may not always get that. You could have a hot e-commerce company that's only a year old and it's doing phenomenal. It's got $1 million a year in sales, $400,000 or $500,000 in profit. It's on a path like this. Well, why not take it over now before it takes it to the next level and gets more expensive? Is there a big market for their product? So if there's a big market, if people want the product, then that means you could sell more and more of it. If it's a very limited thing that not many people can use, if it's limited, you need to be able to charge a lot for it. But if it's mass market, you typically charge lower, right? Supply and demand. Do they have financial statements? We prefer audited. Almost never will you get audited or compiled. You probably get spreadsheets. Well, I don't know, because they just don't know what they're doing. They're a small owner-operator, they've got a business, they're making a profit, they're figuring it out. They got a basic accountant does their taxes at the end of the year, and you ask them for a profit, loss, and a balance sheet, and they go, well, let me ask my accountant for that, because they don't know how to pull it. Let me repeat what you said, and then I'll answer. So the question was, do I ever just go in and buy out the assets because the business's books are all messed up? They wouldn't survive an audit, they've been taking cash out, they haven't been reporting properly, maybe they haven't paid taxes, payroll taxes, whatever, right? So the books are messed up. And the answer is yes, absolutely. Love those. In fact, I like companies that have too much debt. I like companies that have more debt than what the company's worth. I love those even more. The company could be making money, could be making a profit, but it has all this debt, and the debt's killing it. Or their finances are all messed up. So if I ever have a concern that the company may have either a lawsuit or an audit or back taxes, I especially want to do what I'm about to say. I want to go in and I want to buy the assets of the company. I'm going to create a new company, and this company is going to buy the assets. What happens is I'm going to take all the things of value, including the name of the company, the merchant accounts, the bank account, take all the things of value, I'm gonna move it over here. So to the entire world, it looks like it's exactly the same. Nothing has changed as far as the operation. What I left over here is all the debt and all the problems, all the potential lawsuits, all the audits, everything else stays with the owner. I take none of it. In fact, this is my preferred method of acquisition every single time. Rarely do I want to step in and buy the stock of the company because it opens me up to anything that the previous owner didn't do correctly, I'm liable for. I don't want to be liable for it. So when in doubt, if there's even a hint of doubt, start a new company, have this company buy the assets however you choose to do that. So it's an asset transfer, including the name, existing name of the company, which now becomes a DBA of this company. So So for instance, have you all heard of 7-Eleven? Do you have 7-Elevens over in the UK? Okay, but you know 7-Eleven, right? 7-Eleven, anybody know who owns 7-Eleven? Southland Corporation. Nobody would go into the store if it said Southland on it. It might, but you'd have to build up a brand. So corporations own multiple brands. So you can own the new company that you just bought in a different name, and it's just a DBA of this company using this name, but you own the name, the rights to that name, so you can have a DBA, it's no problem. So to the world, it's still the same company. To your vendors and to your suppliers, it's still the same company. They don't know everything, everything's still the same terms, using the same name, everything's the same. Does that answer your question? Okay. So yes, I like companies that are like that. It just makes it, when companies are in the position you're talking about, or they have debt and stuff like that, the value of the company in the seller's mind is almost zero. They're trying to figure out, why would somebody want to buy my company? Because they don't know how to manage the financials of the business and work it correctly. One of the things that I like about companies that have too much debt is that I can step in and take over the company for just the debt. But what they don't know is that, for instance, back in the 90s, I had one of the very first debt settlement companies for consumers. So we used to do debt settlement and corporate debt settlement. So we would negotiate our settlements for corporations and individuals. We would do it by fax machine. You all remember what fax machines are? Right, so we do it by that. Now we can do it by email. So if somebody has debt, I know this example will come up later, but I'll share it now because I think it's appropriate. Does anybody remember the throat spray company in any of the webinars that I did? Okay, so that's a very simple example. Let me repeat it for everybody else that hasn't heard it. So there was this throat spray company that we're looking at, and the owner's name, her name was Osha. And when I talked with Osha, and by the way, it's brought to me, this deal was brought to me by one of my partners. Anyway, so Osha, when I talked to her on the phone, I said, well, Osha, why are you selling the business? She says, well, first off, Mike, I don't know how to run a business. I've had this business for 13 years, and she makes about $115,000 a year in gross sales, and she thinks she does about $65,000 a year in profit, is what she thinks. But she says she doesn't know how to run the business. She's not a business person. What she is she's really good at building relationships. She has this throat spray company. She has lots of celebrities and bands and band crews that endorse the product, support it. She's got videos and all this stuff, but doesn't know how to market. And in the last 13 years, she's never gotten above where she is now on the annual gross sales. She's in Guitar Center, and a few of them doing well. Right now, she also has $40,000 in debt on the business, and she's actually behind on her payments. So the supplier is threatening to cut off her shipments, which will affect her contracts with Guitar Center. So she's in a world of hurt. She doesn't know what to do. Now, since you already know a little bit of what the future is, ignore the future and look at that deal as it is on the moment. How many of you would be interested in a deal? Be honest. Ignore, you already know I did the deal, so ignore that. I'm asking ignore. If it came to as that, what I just said, how many of you would ignore the deal? And it's okay, regardless what your answer, you would ignore it. Okay. And that's fine, there's nothing wrong with it. What I'm trying to suggest is look just a little bit deeper and see what the problem is. The problem is her. She's the problem. She doesn't know how to run a business. She acknowledges that freely, that she doesn't know how to run the business. So she wanted to sell it for $150,000. We ended up structuring the deal, and this took me 2 phone calls, a max of about 30 to 45 minutes. And we structured the deal, instead of a purchase price of $150,000, we bought it for $15,000. In the 15, we also agreed that we would attempt to settle the outstanding debt. I didn't say that I would, I didn't say that I guaranteed it. Her big pressure point is, they're going to sue me, I need you to take care of that debt. I said, I will do my best, but I can't guarantee anything. I was very clear with her that I can't guarantee that. Is everybody with me so far? Okay. So we agreed to buy it for $15,000, but I structured the $15,000 this way. $3,000 today and $3,000 a month for the next 4 months. Now the company's making about $65,000 from her perspective that we can see. So where do I get the additional 3 months or $3,000 a month for the next 4 months? Where do you think I get it from? Hopefully from the cash flow. But right now, my product is being delayed because they're not being paid. You see the problem? This is a company that's got 1 foot in the grave, about to go under. So I said, okay, so we negotiated a deal. She's out, $3,000 now, and I will attempt to negotiate the debt. So what we did is we did an asset purchase. I created another company. We transferred all the assets, including the name, the formula, any accounts receivable, the relationships, the contract. We transferred everything over to the new entity. So here was this company. Here was a new one, which had all the assets. This company still owed $40,000 in debt. I don't know if it owed back taxes or not. I don't know if the taxes were done correctly or not. But I figured if she's already messed up at the stuff with the vendor, there's a possibility there may be an audit on this stuff somewhere down the road. I don't want to take over the company. Whenever I have doubt, I'm like, peace out. I want something over here, okay? So I moved all the assets over to here, and then once I did that, and only after I did that, I made a phone call to the vendor. I said, hey, my name's Mike Warren. I'm a Security Equity Group. We just recently bought this company. We understand that you guys have some outstanding bills. We want to see what we can work out and keep the relationship alive. And they said, yes, so she owes us $40,000 in debt. She hasn't paid. We're really mad. We're upset. And she hasn't paid. You know, we're going to sue her, and, you know, we're not releasing the product. And I said, okay. I said, I would like to get the product, and I would like to keep this relationship as opposed to going to a whole nother factory and having it produced there, which, you know, I can do. You know, what can we do to keep our relationship alive so that I can use you as our preferred vendor in doing this? It went back and forth. No, we're not going to do anything, you know, or, all right, we'll release the bottles, but we want to sell the bottles to you at a premium and you pay us cash today. No, not going to do that. I don't need it. I'll just go to another factory. All right, well, then we'll sell it to you. So every bottle that you sell, we want to charge an extra $1 or $1.50 on each bottle until we get all of our money back. Sorry, no, I'm not going to do that because I can go to another factory and just do it right over. I'm not going to pay anything more than what I can do right now. So we went back and forth, negotiated a little bit. This actually took about, if memory serves, between 20, 25 minutes. It wasn't that long. Having a conversation, just staying in the conversation with the business itself, to ultimately they said, okay, here's what we'll do. Are you guaranteeing that Osha is out and we will never have to deal with her again? Yes, she's out. You'll never have to deal with her again. Fine, we will release the bottles to you at the exact same price. We want it on cash on delivery though. We're not going to do net 30, net 60. I said, no problem. I'll prove that we can pay for it. We can be a good customer. And then over time, we can see about talking about terms, but not anytime soon. We'll pay for it all in advance. Said, no problem. So what they essentially did is they wiped out the $40,000 in debt for zero. They got nothing for it, released all the bottles to our different companies so we could fill it all. We bought it as is, as we went, cash delivery. Now we're in almost 400 stores around the country, and also moving into the UK and Australia and Canada. So now it's a 7-figure business, and we got it for $3,000 down, of which the company paid the $3,000 back in month 5. Y'all get that? How many of you think that's a good deal?
Osha's company. Did you take ownership of that company or not? Did you?
I did not take ownership of the company. I bought the assets in the company.
You bought the assets from. So
correct.
You didn't purchase that company and then transfer it to another entity you own.
I created a company and I bought its assets.
Yeah.
For $3,000 and $3,000 a month for 4 months.
Yeah. Okay.
That company stayed hers, and I could care less.
Yeah, I've seen it done that way. But in the UK, if your name's on a company, it's a liquidation. You're not liable for the assets, but you're on a credit score as a director. So someone will come back to you and go, cool, you've had a lot of companies going. Even if you make success, you buy the assets from here, switch it to here. If your name's on that company, then
my name is not on that company.
It, so you left it.
Yeah, I don't want my name associated with it because I have liability.
Yeah,
if I
and
do
you left that company with her to finalise, dissolve, finish.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
What she did with the company after I bought it, I don't know, don't care. And the other thing that was really nice about it in this particular deal is the throat spray was not the product I really wanted. She had 14 different formulas, 14 different products, And the only one that she'd been able to really make money with was the throat spray because that's what she focused on. What I was actually interested in the most was this hangover formula. That's what I really wanted. So what we're working on now, and it's taken a while to kind of get it there, is we're taking the hangover formula. Can I share our marketing strategy with you guys? Would that be all right? So we're taking the hangover formula, which she used to sell by the drum, right? It'd be like a 30, 60-day supply for people to drink because it actually does get rid of hangovers. And what we're doing instead is we're taking that big drum and we're putting it into individual usage package. Have you ever seen those little long sugar packs? They're very thin and skinny, but they're long about like that. So what we're doing is we're taking 3 of those, putting it in a package, and we're selling it for $7. Well, $6.95 to be exact. However, we're not really going mainstream with it to the open market like that. We're doing more of a Red Bull, Monster, guerrilla marketing tactic. So we're looking at who is most likely to use that hangover formula. So you guys help me figure this out. Who? Bars? Bars are not the right answer. Nope. College students, who said that? That's right. What do we know about college students? They drink. And it doesn't matter that they're all underage, right? It doesn't matter. We know that they drink anyway. And they drink to excess because now mommy and daddy aren't around. They're getting drunk, like, oh my God, my head hurts. So we've got this tiny little solution. So we went to this thin, skinny thing, primarily for perception purposes so that girls specifically can carry it in their back pocket without worrying about it. Because you're gonna have a girl that might have on some tight jeans, which I know that's unheard of for college, right? So she's got it in her back pocket or front pocket. It's unobtrusive, it doesn't make it a big deal. She can drink it before she goes to bed and the hangover will be gone by the time she wakes up in the morning. She won't have one. So it's really good. A lot of B vitamins, all organic. So what we want to do is we're creating essentially a 2-tier affiliate program with it so that there can be a couple of kids that promote it on campus. We want them to give it away for free. Try it out, guys, see if it works. Start giving it away for free. Then let the kids come in and buy it. Well, the person who promotes it, sells it first, will get a commission. And then anybody that those people then refer to also, they'll get a commission. So it's a 2-level affiliate system. So it only cost us about 65 cents to produce those 3 and package it that we can send in bulk to somebody who will sell it, of which they get a commission and the second tier gets a commission. We're creating some viral marketing. So that's the plan of how we're going to go out there. Yeah, if we go to 3 levels, it's MLM, but we're only sticking at 2. So 2 levels. How many of you think that's a good way to market?
Mike, you said you're going to assume the loan when you buy the business?
No, I did not. I did not assume anything.
Okay.
I didn't assume a loan. I said I would attempt to negotiate a payoff on the debt. I didn't assume anything.
But how the loan is paid off? Let's say if we don't negotiate it, how the previous owner will pay the loan?
I didn't pay the loan. They agreed to wipe it out.
Wipe it out.
They wiped it out for 0. They agreed to write it off the books as a loss.
What if they don't agree for that?
Why did they do it?
What if they don't agree for wipe?
Wait, too many people are talking. I can't understand. What?
What if they don't agree for wipe it out?
Why did they agree to it?
Don't agree.
Oh, what if they don't?
Yeah.
Sue her then.
So you're not giving any guarantee.
You need to understand the structure. Who owns the assets?
Owner.
I own the assets.
Okay, now you own.
Who owns the debt?
Previous owner.
She does. She said, well, we're just going to take it to court. I said, you're more than welcome to take it to court. Go ahead. And you know what? You can take it to court and she probably won't even show. You'll win. But you're going to spend about 5 or 10 grand to get your attorney to go do that. The challenge is you already know she doesn't have the ability to pay the bill. She's got 1 foot in a bankruptcy grave. You're going to get a judgment. Cool. You got it. You're happy. And then she's going to go bankrupt and wipe it out. And you're going to get nothing. You don't know she has nothing because she can't pay the bills. Hang on.
Yeah.
I'm not, when I had the conversation, so I'm not telling anything that you don't know. But I know from one business to another, we look at, okay, how do we minimize our losses and move on and keep making additional sales? I'm giving you a solution that says, I want to continue to buy stuff from you. And I want to buy more and more. I'm willing to pay cash for it as we go to build up the relationship. she's out. You can sue her. Nothing I can do to stop you. If I were in your shoes, I might want to do that myself. All these things I said. And then they have to make a decision, right? The guy I was talking to was the VP, and he has to say, well, I have to go to my CEO and explain to him why we're not getting paid. I'm like, I get that, but you already know you're not getting paid. It's not rocket science. It's not new news. You already know that you're not getting paid.
What if the previous owner had asset-based loan already? Asset-based loan.
Well, they had an asset-based loan on it, and that they had the product, and they weren't going to release the product until they got paid. They already had it. So technically, they thought they had me over a barrel, and I said, you know what? I'm not going to pay for it. It's them. I'm sorry that she did that, but I'm somebody new. I'm starting new behavior. You could hold on to the product. If you choose to do that, that's fine. I'm going to go someplace else where I can get it just a little bit cheaper, because I'm not going to pay for it and additional. I'm just not going to do that. I would rather stay with you because it's already set up. We already know exactly how it works. Everything's nice and simple. I'd rather stay with you if you'll let me. They make a decision, and they made the right one.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Right?
Where did the student find the deal?
Say again?
Where did the student find the deal?
Craigslist, if I remember correctly.